Okay, so just to finish up with this little story that I was telling, I was explaining how once I had prayed for some direction that God had led me to a certain house, where the rent was a certain price that was manageable. And the key to getting through tough times is not just praying after something goes wrong in your life, but it's also praying while things are going well. And then you're asking for instruction, Lord, what do I do? And a lot of times if something bad does happen, then you're more prepared to survive it. So by me praying before I ever sign the lease, because I don't just do something just to do it, God led me to a place where my landlord is actually one of my coworkers, so they had an inside track on why I was in the position I was in the first place. The rent was manageable. Utilities are included, so it wasn't like I was paying separate bills for this, separate bill for that, separate bill for this. It was all in one. And that makes it easier when you're a person that you don't know where your next check is coming from. And I went through that for 3 months. So just to kind of wrap this up, so now that the bills are paid, I'm not necessarily stressing about that. Rent is paid, utilities are paid, I paid my car insurance, I got money to eat, my refrigerator is full, I still got gas in my car tank. Now the question is, what now? So everyone, and it's crazy, I don't want to focus on it, but it's like 10 seconds after I got fired, half of my friends / co-workers / fake friends / whatever you want to call them just totally erased my phone number. But the ones that did still keep in contact with me and kind of let me know what they were hearing or different little stuff here and there, they were like, you're not going to get your job back, so you might as well just move on. So for the first month or so, I didn't really act on it. I'm like, they could say that, but I'm not worried about it. But I would say after about a month, I started getting scared, like maybe they're right. Like I need to, maybe it is time to move on. After 12 years, you get comfortable, you get used to it. I had friends all over the country. It's all I know. I started when I was 26. I'm 39. That's a long time to be at the same job. But I'm a big boy, so I was like, you know what, maybe I do need to move on. In the career field I'm in, jobs are a dime a dozen, and as long as you maintain certain qualifications, you get a job pretty instantly, pretty fast. So I had put a like one of those online apps or ad services. I had put my application in less than 24 hours. I had an interview. So I had ironed my clothes that morning, and I was on my way out the door. I ain't gonna show my door, but I was literally at the door, and it was like I felt in my spirit. And I would look at part 1 of this series to understand how I hear stuff in my spirit. But it was like the Lord was like, He's like, you're about to mess the plan up. And when I heard that, I stopped at the door. I'm like, now this is the first time I'm hearing anything, because the whole time I'm praying, Lord, am I going to get fired? I'm not hearing nothing. Lord, am I going to get my job back? I'm not hearing nothing. But now that I'm about to move on, now it's like, stop, don't move. So I called the lady at the place I was going to. I said, ma'am, I don't want to take this job from someone who might need it, because I'll be back to my job within about 3 to 4 weeks. Because I am in a union protected job, and there are steps you go through to get back. So, but that was faith on my part, because I didn't know I was getting it back in three weeks. I just said that to not be rude to her because I wasn't showing up. But sure enough, when I went to my meeting, I guess I am showing my place now. At first I was like, I'm not going to do it, but all right, there you go. Bam. So anyways, I stopped myself at the door, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do it. So I called a few people, and they were kind of upset, like, Terrence, you were supposed to go to the interview. Like, are you scared to move on? This and this, this and this. And I'm like, these people don't get it. I play by a different set of rules. So when a person like me, when you hear spiritual things, and when you can perceive things, you learn to live and guide yourself by that. Whether it makes sense to people on the outside or not, you do it because that's what you know. So I come back in the house, I'm like, all right, I guess I'll sit some more, not making no money. And I'm not gonna lie, I did start to somewhat go through like a depression phase a little bit. Like one day I slept till like 6, 7 o'clock at night. That's depression. You're not supposed to sleep that long. But I was just sad and disappointed and frustrated, all kinds of stuff. So, but I got through it. I'm a big boy. I'm not a baby. So, I'm actually kind of glad I went through this thing. And I know that's weird. Like, who gets glad they got fired from a job and was in a position where I could have potentially lost everything? But I'm glad I went through it because it taught me, for one, once again, it reinforced my faith that God is in fact still with me. He leads me, He guides me. But not just that, it also taught me, it made me think about my dad actually, how he's always on us about saving. And the simple fact that I was able to do it, and it got me through a tough time pretty much without a scar. You know how they say unscathed, like you go through a fire but you don't get burned? That's kind of what happened to me. Like this particular go round, I didn't really feel no effects from it. Like it's almost like it didn't happen. And I'm not saying this to brag, as I'm saying this as a testimony to somebody else. Don't be me. Like if you can get a heads up on this before it becomes a problem. When I say this, I'm talking about financial freedom. So if you're a person, you got a job or whatever, you got a car note, you got a house, start saving. Put some money aside. No touch. Like you can't use it. Like put it aside and don't touch it. You just don't realize that life can really hit you out of nowhere. And I'm a person that I like to think that I follow the proper steps in life and I follow a spiritual principle. So I kind of felt like that won't be me. That'll be somebody else. Terrence doesn't get fired. Terrence is college educated. Terrence primarily follows the rules. I double check before I do A, B, and C. Nothing ain't gonna happen to me, but guess what? It did happen. So I'm saying this to you to say, don't be caught off guard with life. Because like I said, my spirit started telling me very heavy, get your money in order, get your money in order. And that's how, when I got fired, I was able to survive. That's how I wasn't calling people, can you give me 10? Can you give me 20? If you pay this, I can pay that. I didn't have to do that because I listened to my spirit telling me start to save. And some people will say, oh, that's common sense. Everyone knows that. Well, in life, a lot of people know a lot of stuff, but that doesn't mean that they do it. Okay, so knowing it and doing it is two different things. And that's what was able to help me to get through this phase that I was in, was that I did it. I didn't just know it. That's the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge means you know what to do. Wisdom means you know it and you actually do it. Because you learn from past experience that, hey, if I don't, I'm going to be messed up. So just to not keep rambling and not to seem like self-indulgent, because this is not bragging about who and what I am. It's just, I like to kind of inspire people. I like to think when I go through things, if what I went through can help somebody else, I'll take it for the team, I guess. I'll take the hit, because there's somebody else out there that something maybe worse might be coming their way. And if they don't have a heart and mind to be prepared in advance, you're gonna be messed up. Okay, so just follow your spirit, honestly, truthfully. And this is whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship. Don't buy a car without praying. Don't sign a lease. I would even say don't go on a vacation. Like when I say the stillness of a praying heart, what I'm basically saying is think before you do anything. Now, I'm not talking about mind think, I'm talking about spirit think. I'm a person, I don't do nothing without a feeling. If certain things don't line up in my thought process, if I don't feel certain stuff, I can't do it. I can't do it, I won't do it. And by me following that principle, that's how what could have been a really, really bad situation wasn't quite that bad. So I'm going to check out of here, but I just wanted to tell you all one more time. Always listen to your heart. When life is going well, be prepared for it also if it's not well. So that way you have, a mode of survival. You have a way to get through it. So save your pennies for a rainy day. Always have, it's almost like I'm a CDL driver. They tell you part of the Smith system, they tell you get the big picture and leave yourself in out. That means don't get caught off guard. Don't never allow two semis to be on both sides, and if there's something in the front, you don't have nowhere to go because you didn't leave yourself out. Okay, well, leave yourself out in the spirit. Leave yourself out financially. So when you find yourself in a tough situation, you can get through it, and your heart can be still, and you will emerge as a survivor. Now I'm going to just very quickly, to wrap this up, I did get my job back. There are certain terms I got to abide by for a certain amount of time, but I got it back, just like normal. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful to God for not, this not being what it could have been. And for anyone else going through a similar situation, my heart's with you because I know what it feels like. I've been there. And it's not easy. But what will make it easier is just preparing. When life is well, just prepare for the possibility of something different. And not to be pessimistic, but just to be, honestly, to be prepared and to be ready. So I want you all just to be blessed. And I'm going to say it one more time. Allow yourself to have the stillness of a praying heart. Don't just ask after the disaster happens, but ask for direction ahead of time. All right, God bless you. Life is good. All right.